So when you're working in Excel, there's a couple things you need to know about opening and saving workbooks. Let's take a look at a few of those.
Okay.
We're in a blank workbook, but if you wanted to open an existing workbook, how would you do that?
I would go to File, Open.
Good, and you can also use Control-O as the shortcut key for that. It'll bring you to the spot.
Okay.
I do want to mention, first of all, that you have an option to sign in the upper right-hand corner. If you have a personal Microsoft or a business Microsoft account, you would want to go ahead and sign in, and that'll give you access to other cloud storage options. So you'll actually see two headings here. You'll see a heading for workbooks and a heading for folders. And Excel's going to show you your most recently used workbooks and your most recently used folders. So take a look at the workbooks list and you'll see several workbooks that we have opened recently. So you could just scroll through that list and then click on the one that you want to open. But let's start with the folders list. Go ahead and click on the word folders. And it's also going to show you other locations or folders that you've used recently. Now, it does have those by date of use, so the most recently used ones are on top. But one of the nice things you can do is you can actually pin a folder so it'll stay at the top of the list. Now, this is our Excel Basics course, so we're going to be using that folder. Why don't we pin it so it stays at the top? If you just hover over Excel Basics.
Oh, there's a pin option. I'll go ahead and click on that, and it's now pinned to the top.
Right, so it's in that separate section. Pinned, it's going to stay there.
Can I pin files as well?
Sure, let's go to the Workbooks heading, and we're going to be using that corporate data file throughout our course, so just go down and pin that one so it'll show up at the top of the list.
Perfect.
We're actually going to open another workbook. I just want to point out some other locations. Underneath the word open, you do have a OneDrive option if you signed into a Microsoft account. Then you have a local option for this PC. You can add a place, which is usually a network location or a SharePoint site, and then you can just browse. Why don't you just click Browse? Let's go to our Basics folder. And we're going to open that Assets workbook. Go ahead and click on that. You can double click and it'll open it. Now if you look up at the title bar, you'll see the name of the workbook, which is Assets, but you'll also see some other information here.
Yes, it says compatibility mode. I've seen that before. What is that?
So Excel made a pretty significant change in how it structured the workbooks at the 2007 version. So if a workbook was saved prior to that and you try and open it in anything after 2007, then you're going to get this compatibility mode feature. Now that was quite a while ago, so you won't see it as often, but every so often workbooks have been created and then saved and continue to be used and never really upgraded. All you have to do is just convert it to the new file format. So let's do that. Go to the File tab, go down to Info.
Oh, and I see the Convert option.
Let's just go ahead and click on that. And that's going to change it where it had the extension XLS. Now it's going to have an XLSX extension.
So let's hit OK. It's giving me the option to close and reopen.
Go ahead and choose yes. So it closes it, it reopens it, and now you have all the additional features. They added rows and columns, quite a few other things that are now available. So this is last year's data. What we want to do is keep the same structure of the workbook. We're going to delete the details and then save it for next year so we can put in the new data. So quickly, let's just delete what's in here. So we'll start with A2, click there, we'll leave the headings. Select to the bottom, let's just use Control-Shift down arrow, and then a right arrow, and you can use your delete key.
Perfect.
And now we'll do a Save As.
Let's go to File, Save As.
And remember, that allows us to give it either a new name or new location or both. So we'll go ahead and save it in the folder that we pinned, the Excel Basics folder. And we'll just add 2022 after the name of it. Right below file name, it just tells you that it's saving it as an Excel workbook. But if you click on that down arrow, you will see a number of other file types that you could use. You'll see things such as that 97 to 2003, that's the older version where we got the compatibility mode. You'll also see a PDF option if you want to save it out for people who may not have Excel or so you don't want them to be able to change it. And another popular one is the CSV format, that's comma separated values, and you can then export that to a lot of other sources. We'll leave it as an Excel workbook, and then we'll just go ahead and save it.
Kathy, these are great reminders to keep in mind when I'm opening and saving workbooks.